Hello viewers, here we have a Lasko, oh boy, a Lasko Electricity Minus box fan. I picked this one up a couple years ago. It was out on the curb in the recycle bin in front of somebody's house near the old location. Looked like it hardly had any hours on it, so I grabbed it and it did not run. The blade was, there's a stinking fly in here. The blade had come loose. It was just spinning on the shaft, and that seems to be a common problem with these. I've seen a lot of complaints about that happening, and so I don't know if the plastic isn't the right size to begin with or whatever, but for some reason the blade where it meets the shaft comes loose. Right, I don't know if the plastic is too soft, and so when the heat from the motor gets to the shaft, it softens the plastic and then it starts to spin in there, or I don't know what the reasoning is, but that seems to be a common failure point with these. And once that happens and the shaft is spinning inside the blade, the motor's going to heat up because there's not enough airflow, and there's the heat from the friction of the shaft spinning inside the blade, and then the thermal fuse gives out. So, not good, right? This one, let's see. This one is from. Do these have a date code on them? I don't even know. Oh boy, there's a glare. I gotta turn off that other light. That's why there's a glare. The other light is still on. There we go. This should give no more glare. Here's the informations. It is 1.0 amps. That is 2018 to 2019. And I want to say I picked it up. I could probably go back to the original video and find out. But it was, I would say, within a year of that. 2020, 2021 maybe. Anyways, I used this thing a fair bit when I first bought the house. I was using it as we were working on stuff. It was a hot summer. We had fans going a lot. And it worked pretty good. I think if you have to buy a fan today, a box fan, this is probably one of the better ones. Or one of the best ones, rather. The Weather Shield, I don't think that you can get it anymore. It seems like it was discontinued. I don't know what, if any, difference there was between this one and the Weather Shield. They seem like the same thing to me. And I guess there's now a Pro Power or whatever the heck it is. There's another one. I think that one's the same too. They just keep putting different color plastic molds and different names on it. They're all the same thing, except for the 3733. That one's a little bit junkier than these. This is definitely a step up from the 3733, as well as the Cool Colors one. This is a step up from the Cool Colors as well. A bigger motor, or not necessarily physically bigger, but more powerful motor, and the blade is steeper. I have some like early 2000s models. I need to do some comparison videos with this fan and with the Weather Shield Select and see what changed over the years, because I think they're going to be remarkably similar. So this one it's got the 8-pole motor. Gee, maybe I should have left the other light on. And I gotta blow the dust out before I get going with it this year. It takes some weird feet. I don't know where the heck they are. I have them somewhere. I just take this piece of wood and I just do that, whatever, I don't care. Ain't worth the time of day. Trying to find those stupid feet, they'll just break off anyways. The handle is still good on this thing. These seem pretty sturdy. I haven't seen many break. And it's got this knob. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see how it runs, or if it still runs. I guess we could call this the spring startup, because I don't think I've used it yet this year. Okay, we're testing at 120.5 volts. I'd like to show you the meter here, but the bench is a flipping disaster, so I can't. I've got to get it cleaned up this week or something. I'm getting tired of it looking like this. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and start it up now. So this would be the low speed, which of course is the slowest speed, and it moves a pretty reasonable amount of air. It's not bad. Power draw is 0.64 the amps, 75 the watts with a power factor of 0.97. The blade balance feels pretty reasonable at this speed. It's not perfect, but for a Lasko product, which for whatever reason Lasko can't seem to get the blade balance correct just about ever, this is quite acceptable. Yeah, I mean, even here all the way across the room I can still feel it, and it's a decent amount too. It's not bad. It really is not bad. Okay, now we'll ramp up to the second speed. Which is pretty loud. This to me is disruptive to a conversation, it's disruptive to watching television, it's disruptive to listening to music. It's just too loud for me. I know some people like loud fans, I'm not one of those people. Now, with that being said, it's not loud for nothing. It's moving a decent amount of air. You could get a metal high velocity fan that would move 5 times the amount of air for the same noise. Power draw 0.77 amps, 92 watts with a power factor of 1. And the balance is starting to be a little bit shaky. You can feel it's out of balance now, which is absolutely no surprise. Alright, let's go to the highest speed, or the high. And there we go with the shaking. As you're moving along the table, the balance is so bad. But that's just standard Lasko operation. I don't know why Lasko and Air Queen cannot produce a balanced blade. It's really kind of pathetic. It's just a stupid plastic mold. It shouldn't be that difficult to make it balance. 0.92 amps, 104 the watts, the power factor of 0.94. Yeah, the balance is atrocious. It's actually not ticking over right now, but it's very close to doing so. It does move a lot of air, I'll give it that much. I think these models with the circular guard are much more aerodynamically correct than the ones with the Horace-Tan and Vertitan guards. You know, like that one there, those are no good. Okay, cut it off. And it looks like the bearings are still good. Plenty of oil in there. I have found that a lot of these Lasko fans seem to come with an adequate amount of lubrication, which is more than can be said for a lot of the other brands. So that's that, the Lasko Power Plus box fan. It's still running and ready to go for another cooling season.